to step on. It's Fiverr Friday. Bum, ba, bum, bum. It is the 9th of October. Crazy that we're almost coming to the middle of October on the fourth quarter. It blows my mind. I'm excited to be here, and I want to welcome you to Fiverr Friday. If you are new, take a moment. Well, if you're new, thank you for being here. But if you would take a moment to make sure that you like this, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and make sure you put in the chat, say hello, and it's good to have you. If you're new to Fiverr Friday, though, what we do here is I give you a little spiel about what my thoughts are going on for Fiverr, and then you post your questions, comments, etc., and I do my very best to answer them for you and start a conversation to help you grow your business on Fiverr. So today, I want to talk about something that I see come up a lot, even now in 2020, after what has been 10 years since Fiverr has started. And that question is, do I need to be a good voice actor to get work on Fiverr? A lot of times what I see is other people, other voiceover artists, saying that, there's nobody good on Fiverr. It's kind of junky voiceover artist on Fiverr. And, it's cheap and it's no good and all this stuff. And this is after 10 years, too, of, people bashing Fiverr, and Fiverr is still growing strong. And I wanted to bring this topic up because, when I started about 3.5 years ago, a little over 3.5 years ago, getting close to 4 years on Fiverr, there was, at that time, which is still a lot, there was 7,000 gigs on Fiverr, or offerings from voice actors on Fiverr available. Now there's over 21,000. Okay, over 21,000 voiceover artists actively offering services on Fiverr. That's a lot, and that's incredible growth. I mean, that's just voiceover artists. And no matter what anyone says to you or I, it is very competitive, and Fiverr is a machine. It is a marketing machine. No matter, again, what anyone says, they cannot deny the reach, the power of the marketing machine that Fiverr is. So because of that, they are going to reach a lot of clients. And if you compare that with the fact that millennials, more and more people who have grown up buying things on the internet, used to working over the internet, are now becoming, are not becoming, but are in control of purchasing things for their companies, for their businesses. More and more people starting out their own businesses, especially this year with being at home. So much. You put those two together and you have quite a combination of the power that Fiverr has. That's why sites like Upwork, too, which is another publicly traded company. Fiverr and Upwork, both publicly traded companies. But Upwork, is getting more and more business, too, online, and that's growing, and their voiceover community is growing, all right? Because, again, people are realizing, hey, listen, I can get really super quality voiceovers from people on these platforms. Okay. And on top of that, one of the best things that they do, right, which we're all so familiar with, is reviews, right? You can, people leave reviews. So those reviews help satisfy people's wonder, hey, is this good or not? And, it's hard to beat thousands of reviews. It really is. So I think that, this question, do you need to be a good voice actor to get work on Fiverr? And the answer is yes. You do need to be a good voice actor. But that should never, but this is what I wanted to express to you today. That should never be a question for you about whether you are not striving to be the very best that you can be and deliver the very best product that you can deliver no matter where you are. And I always say, we create the world we live in, and those of us who actively work on Fiverr, right, we create that atmosphere. So, if we treat that atmosphere professionally and the way that I know that we are treating it, it is going to continue to grow. And there will be a time when even more and more people flood into the market because they realize, and they're doing it now. People realizing, listen, you can't, sure, you can ignore anything you want, but my goodness, there's so many people who are making $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 a month on that platform, on Fiverr for voiceover. Okay? I'm one of them, so I know that you can make that money on Fiverr. And there's also a lot of people who are not making any money on Fiverr. All right. And it's a challenge, so there's no doubt about it. But I want to kind of talk to you about 3 different things today regarding, being a good voiceover artist. And I think the first thing is talent. All right. We are born with talent, whether you believe in God or whatever, we're born, or we've been given something in our genes or whatever that allows us to have abilities that maybe some other people aren't as strong in, right? And that talent can help us go a lot further. And there's definitely some people who are inherently able to read a better, scripts from just starting out, making them sound more natural or making them sound a certain way or whatever. It just seems to come naturally to them. It's a talent. All right. But then there's skill. And I love skill because I love calling skill the ultimate equalizer, right? Skill is that thing that you and I can work on, and we can grow our skill by practicing and growing our knowledge and working. We can grow that skill, and it can equalize, level the playing field, and in fact surpass people with lots of talent. Okay, we've seen this proven time and time again in any field, whether it's sports, whether it's arts, no matter what it is, there is skill that is absolutely necessary for all of us to learn. But then I think there's a third component that, I really believe in, and that's wisdom. All right, and I say wisdom, we could also maybe wisdom with / experience. And, I think that a lot of people who might have been in the industry for a long time, and they see a lot of new people coming in, because a lot of us there's new people coming in a lot more than normal, right? These people coming in, right, have talent, not a lot of skill, but they're learning and they're growing. They're pushing the limits. They're trying their very best. You have a lot of experienced people with experiences that are not related to Fiverr, not related to new people. And you have these people sort of casting judgment, if you will, or ideas about what they think should happen or how you should be. And, it's one of those things, if you're kind of following me where I'm going with this, experience and wisdom can really be beneficial in our business. But if you let your stubbornness, all right, or arrogance get in the way of that wisdom, that knowledge, all right, then that wisdom and knowledge actually can serve to hurt you. Okay, we cannot forget how dangerous arrogance can be. All right, that's why I love when I work with people and a lot of voice actors who are hungry. They've got that hunger to be to get work and to grow their business, and they're willing to fight and to do things that other people are like, oh, I don't do that, right? And it's interesting to me where some people call that a bad thing. I call it. I call it hunger. I call it excitement. I call it people really wanting to grow a business and to fight for something that they believe in. Wisdom and knowledge and experience are so important, and they can help you go well beyond where you are now. Just remember that arrogance is a severe, really dangerous piece that can come with that. All right. So, table the arrogance, if you will, and work really hard on utilizing all the experience and knowledge that you have. And that adds that third layer that really grows you. And I want to talk to you too about pricing a little bit based on being a good voice actor, because I think, that's always been the go to throw down about pricing on Fiverr. And I think that, if you've run any other business, all right, you know that pricing is a form of marketing as well as a form of the product you're offering. But at the same time, it also is a form of your level of experience, right? Your level of ability in that particular market on that particular stage, as well as you're just beginning in something that you've never done before. And it is a growth thing, right? I mean, if you've and that's what I love about business and economics. That's different than that's an added component onto us being actors, voice actors. So anyways, the point to all this, the story today is that the answer is yes. You need to be a great voice actor to get lots of work on Fiverr. But here's the thing. Fiverr also is a place for people who are just beginning to try to learn and to get some experience. And as they grow and they get more experience, they get that skill, they get that knowledge and that experience and then that wisdom. Fiverr also has become a place where you can earn money, all right, in direct relation to those skills, talents, and knowledge. And that's what I love. Fiverr used to be a place where that wasn't true. And I'm not sure a lot of people who don't like Fiverr are aware of that now. But Fiverr is definitely a place where you can make a lot of money on a monthly basis. It's proven, it's been done. There is no one can, if someone says it, you can't do that there, they just don't know they haven't spent any time learning about it. It's not, I mean, if you're interested, join a VO's journey, join our Facebook group and, check it out. I mean, we're very open about what we do and the earnings that we have, and we do it on a monthly basis. And it's a real eye-opener to see what actual voice actors are earning. But again, a lot of it has to do with where you are right now, all right, how good your skill is at the moment, also how good that knowledge you have at selling that skill. Because, I told myself today, don't talk about sell, don't talk about marketing, I want to talk about acting and just the importance of it today. But, in this business, a lot of times they go hand in hand. But anyways, just keeping it on topic, I wanted to make sure that you understand that it is no joke. The people on Fiverr, the people in our group, the people who are in Fiverr Elite, which is our group that meets Wednesdays and Saturdays to grow our Fiverr business, these are amazing voice talents. These are people that could work on any stage around the world. And the cool thing about Fiverr is it opens up the stages around the world. People are getting jobs, national campaign jobs through Fiverr. And it's the people who are naive or perhaps, like I said, a little arrogant are the ones who will be left behind. And, just don't be that way. Just be open-minded and, be willing to, grow your business and use Fiverr as another tool on your belt. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the boards. If you got any questions, you got any comments about that? I know today was not a substantive look at how to be a good voice actor. All right. But I wanted to, I see that a lot of places and, it's sad because, we have sometimes people join a VO's journey and they ask me questions, like, hey, I was over here and this group or this place and, or I was a part of this training program and they just beat it in your head that, don't go to Fiverr, don't be on Fiverr. And then bless their hearts, they're struggling to make money. They can't find any work. All right. And it's heartbreaking because, I think, again, some people's wisdom turned into arrogance can hurt a lot of people. All right. So, make sure that you always keep your mind open, your eyes open. And, someone has anger or negativity about something, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean that their path is the right path. All right. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't heed people's warnings. I'm just saying, make your decisions for yourself. All right, so let's dive into this. Sean, good to have you, my friend. Good morning, sir. Andy, welcome from the UK. Awesome. It's the late afternoon there for you. Jeremy, what's up, my man? We've got Optimus Prime from South Korea. Awesome. Michael, it's good to have you, sir. I'm about to start a Zoom staff meeting, but wanted to give a shout out before I went in. Can't wait to catch the replay. Awesome, Michael. Have a good meeting, buddy. Eric, let's see. Yes, but if you are already a bad actor, can you learn to be better? Eric. Listen, first off, you're not a bad actor. All right, quit it. Second, and I actually like that question because you notice that I said skill. I really believe skill can be the ultimate equalizer. All right, coupled with knowledge can bring out that talent that you might not be able to access. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can get better. All right. However, you will get work a lot of time depending on where you are right now and your abilities and your ability to sell those abilities. Okay? All right? But that doesn't mean that you ever are stuck somewhere. That's what I love about what we do as solopreneurs or entrepreneurs, but also what I love about a platform like Fiverr. Because it does not, it's not a community that, tells you can't do something. I like that. I like being able to do things other people tell me I can't. All right. PSN Chunky Lover. I love that name. Don't doubt you can do it. Absolutely. Andy, everyone can act. We all do it every day. Absolutely. And skill, right? And I keep talking about skill. Skill is something you learn. You can learn to harness that and put it into a package in which people will want to hire you for. Jeremy, let's see. I got the skills to pay the bills. Just got to figure out the business side of things. Well, that's a wonderful thing, too, about this, right? There's always something more to learn. Andy Moore, Jeremy Hers, just needing a much lower noise floor, a.k.a. booth here. Hello, Angela. Voiceover Angela's here. Hello, Andy Moore. Unless people want my recordings with the sound of the street, the washing machine, fans, coffee machine, etc. I hear you. Optimus Prime, been active on Fiverr for 8 days now. Awesome, man. Good deal. Let's see. Jeremy Hurst, I can relate. I just purchased several long cables, so put my PC closet to eliminate the fan noise. Nice. Listen, I know you guys are having a kind of a conversation there. I don't want to take up, reading it back and forth, but I do like the point that you guys are making. Here's something that just to mention about this. It's our job as business owners to find solutions to problems. Okay? That's our jobs. And a lot of times, I would say most of the times, the people who are really successful have done a lot better job at finding solutions to problems than other people. Okay? And don't wait for someone to find the solution for you. Go and find the solution for yourself. All right? Like being here today, you're trying to learn information to hopefully solve maybe a problem or a challenge that you have. Okay? So don't wait for people. So figure out a way to solve those problems. Andy says, if someone says you can't do it, do that. They don't know the power of I can, and they'll shut up when you do. Optimus Prime, with Anthony's tips, my impressions and clicks are growing well. Awesome, man. All right, so Jeremy, you guys are having a good conversation. Louise, hey Louise, how you doing? It's good to have you from Facebook. Andy, thanks. You reminded me I need an Gibson Goff, you rock, first time live listener and a definite follower. Great stuff. Thank you, Gibson. I appreciate it. Annie, you reminded me I needed extender to, let's see, Rob. Thanks, Anthony. There are so many humbling growth stages with building a skill, let alone a business. Absolutely. All right, Derek from Facebook. Hi from Northern Ireland. Awesome, Derek. It's great to have you. Thanks for the Fiverr tips. I've started some VO for YouTubers. Nice. Should I be asking for commercial broadcast? Neither or both. Both. Hey, great question, Derek. So, if someone hires you to do a voiceover for video on YouTube, okay, that would be commercial rights because they are promoting their business. If they take your voiceover, make a video, and then pay for it to be promoted on YouTube, like pre-roll ads, etc., then that would be broadcast rights. Does that make sense? So like if they pay you to, voice their video and they put it on their channel, just they normally upload it to their channel, that would be commercial rights. Okay. But if they then pay for it to be promoted like through Google ads, and then like I said, YouTube pre-roll ads or something like that, then it would be broadcast rights. Okay, great question. All right. By the way, just like Derek did, if you've got questions, please go ahead and post them into the chat, and I'd be happy to answer them for you. Let's see. Sherry. Hey, Anthony and everyone. Been a while, but glad to be back and always appreciate your words of wisdom. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate it. Zach says, happy Friday. Zach, happy Friday. Dave G. Won't the market tell you if you have the talent? I like that, Dave. So, there's that old adage that says, the market will hire you for what they think you're good at or what they want you for. And I think that's true. I do think that's true to an extent. And what I mean by that is that is true if you put all things being equal, meaning like you have a nice sampling of the entire market, right? And the entire market has equal access to you and what you can do. And then you can take that further and say, will the market have equal access to everything that you can do or that you will be better at one day? So I totally agree with what Dave's saying. The market does tell you at that moment. Just remember that doesn't mean that you, have got to the entire market. Right? Meaning there might be people somewhere who do want what you're offering as opposed to what someone, another market doesn't. Okay. It's just for example, it's just like, I just think of it this way. It's just like going to ACX, all right, and then putting up your commercial demo for your audiobooks, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay. It's a different market. Okay, so you have to make sure then, and I know I'm being picky, Dave, so I apologize, but I'm just trying to, make sure everybody understands kind of what Dave's saying. It's important that you are aware what market you're targeting. That's important. A lot of platforms have a lot of different, like they target specific markets of business owners or clients looking for specific type of voiceovers, right? If you keep putting out a certain type of a sample, and, people in that particular market are looking for voice messages or IVR, and you're putting out character reels, well, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean that the market doesn't want you. It just means that particular market is looking for something else, which you could possibly do, voice messaging and IVR, but it might not be what you're putting out right now. So Dave is absolutely correct, but I want you to know that doesn't mean that you don't have something the market wants. It could just mean that you're not also targeting the right market, or what you're trying to put out there is not targeting the right market. How do you know what that is? Well, I think that's one of those, like to me, I'm always like, well, how is that? I'm always like, how and why? So to me, it's important for you to, open your eyes, pay attention to what's going on, look at the breadth of work that you're seeing happening, ask people, find communities that know, do some research, go to these brands' social media sites. You know what I mean? Or these companies or these websites, go to Fiverr social media sites, go to Upwork social media sites, look at what they're doing, who they're targeting. You're going to find out. This is important, you guys, because, we've been doing a lot of demos. I know if you've been watching the channel, we've been done a lot of upgrading for our demo services, and been doing a lot of voice actor demos recently. And it's important to note that, as you do these, as you're doing your demo or your samples, it's not just enough to put out a good script with great mixing background music. That's important, yes. But it's also important to think totally about what what is the feeling you're giving out? Does that make sense? Like if I put a commercial demo together for you, targeting big brand companies that are short radio spots. Okay? Well, then that's going to be that could be maybe there's a half of its radio spots, half of its video narration spots, but it's short. And maybe I decide we're going to do 6 to 8 spots on there, right? Because I believe that that's a good thing for you to do. You get that demo, it sounds great, it's super professional, right? And you start going places, and all of a sudden you realize that you're not getting a lot of work, where these guys over here, gals over here, seem to be getting a lot of work, but their stuff doesn't sound necessarily as good and professional as yours, but their reads are different, right? Their reads are maybe more inspiring, or they're slower, or they've got a deeper tone, or they're not, so much in your face type of stuff. And all of a sudden you realize that you listen to your demo and you listen to their demo, and you realize your demo is far superior when it comes to the production value. But when it comes to who they're marketing, like who's actually going to buy from you, like what you're selling as opposed to what somebody else is selling. Meaning that, if I put something out, and the perfect examples is listen to my stuff, and then listen to someone else's stuff that's selling something different. What I sell a ridiculous amount, a lot of voiceovers are literally the soft, raspy, inspiring, edgy type of voiceovers. I don't do, now do I do some announcery type of voiceover? Yes. And do I like podcast things? I do those too because I offer them. But it's very, very small amount compared to my money voice, right? I've in the past I've called it, what's your money voice? What's that voice that you have that really makes you all that money? So when you're putting your demo and your samples together, it's important to think of your whole entire offering as someone looking at your breadth of your work and saying, yeah, that gal really does that well. And that's, I think, the market they're trying to go after. The important thing here is, and the reason why I gave you this whole thing was, make sure you are aware of what markets you're going after. And if you think you're going after one market, but you're actually going after another market, that could be a big reason why you're struggling getting business, because all your efforts are going into one thing and you're doing all this work to make you sound great and all this thing. And I got off the path going into marketing. But this is not just about marketing. This is about acting, because it's knowing which is which, like who you're acting for, what that market is. Dave, this is a great question, or it's a great comment you made in question. I think it means so much because remember, when there are so many people out there, and now the access, none of us can deny, and no matter what anyone says, the access to voice actors has gotten a lot easier. Okay, it's very simple to find voice actors now, okay? And to purchase services online very quickly. We all know that's true now. So when that happens, when you have access to so many, people are going to do what? They're going to look for specialists, right? Because if you want the very best, you're going to start to look for specialists if there is a sea of people to choose from. If there's not, if there's a very limited pool, they're going to go for whoever they can. But if there's a massive ocean of people, they're going to search for, specialists. So that means you've got to be aware of what you are specializing in. And if you're not really aware of what you're specializing in, you need to listen to your stuff, listen to other people's stuff, see where you feel like you're falling in that categories. Okay, and this is your acting. What are you telling people through your acting? Okay, sorry. That was such a small thing, Dave, that you put out, but I think it's such a good comment that you made, and I wanted to just tell you my opinions about it. Gibson just purchased a Loughton Audio LS208 front-load mic to try and get rid of the ambient noise. We'll give info about as if it proves itself. Have you noticed your mic making a big noise reduction? Hey Gibson, that sounds pretty cool, man. This mic, I bought it for that very reason, because it's kind of a famous broadcast mic, the RE20, and it's used a lot, just like the Shure SMB, and I use it out here for purposes of the fact that it's not a completely treated space, and there is noises, and this mic does a good job of making my voice and the noises, my voice sound good, and background stuff not as bad. But in my booth, I use the Sennheiser 416. I like that mic I like what it does to my voice and the warmness that it makes it sound. There's amazing mics out there that I've not tried, so I can't say whether the TLM 103 would be better or the the UA 80, was it 87 or whatever, which is another incredible mic. I've never tried them. I don't know. if they're any better, but I just know the mics I have work really well for my voice. So on a mic note, what works well for me might not work well for you. You have a different tone in your voice, and that mic might change. But definitely when it comes to noises and things like that, dynamic microphones are going to be better for you until you can fix your space, right? By meaning until you can get your space with less noise and reverb. Dynamic microphones are going to be better because they're not there's not that extra juice, that fan of power going through there and increasing the pickup and the sensitivity of the mic. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why I like the Shure SM. What is it? Is it the 87? Or is that right? 80. Anyways, one of the mic, the old trusty mic. It's got the black handle and the silver round ball screen on the end, and you used to see them. Everyone on stage used them. Well, they use them on stage for a reason, because you get up to the mic, it sounds really good, all right, but it does a really good job of not picking up so much background noise. All right, so things like that. So pay attention to your space and the background noise as well. So I'm excited to hear about that, man. Absolutely. Sean, if you don't think you're developing your skills, go back and listen to your first demos, and you'll definitely think, wow, I can do so much better now. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that idea, Sean. Yes. Dave G, folks, you use a Deity or Synco or MKH 416 to help your sound in a less than ideal environment. Right, and Dave's talking about the cardioid pattern, or the pattern that the pickup pattern that every microphone has. Every microphone is different, meaning that they each have a pattern of how narrow or how wide, and there's hyper cardioid patterns, there's omnidirectional patterns, there's all sorts of different ones. There's ones where they're wider and some are narrower. The shotgun mics usually have a very narrow pattern. That's why they use them in films and stuff. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like it shoots. All right, in a single direction, and it's meant to, deaden or knock out background noise just in the spot where it's pointing. So absolutely. So just make sure though, if you're using that mic, it's got to be pointing at your mouth, okay? Because if it's not pointing at your mouth, it's not gonna sound right. Remember, this is an RE20. This isn't the shotgun mic. Okay, Optimus Prime. Hey, Anthony, when you started Fiverr, how long before you got your first offers? It was about a month. It was honestly about a month. I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't have anything. I had a couple of samples that I put together from auditions that I had done with no music. I didn't, it wasn't until I put together a character demo on my own that I decided that, or I got more work because, I was able to put voices, I got better at music, and I had a lot of fun doing my character demo. So I put that together. I wasn't very good at commercial stuff, or I didn't have that delivery, or at least in my mind. This is something interesting. What's so interesting is if I've been saying this last couple of days, if I went back in time and I told myself when I first started, hey, the majority of all the work you're going to be doing is, commercial video narration work, I would have laughed at myself and said, no way, I don't do commercials. When I first started, the one thing I thought I would never do was commercial work. Literally, because I thought I was a nonfiction narrator, and then I really, nonfiction audiobook narrator, and I really liked doing characters, so it was fun doing possibly, Halloween characters. That's what I thought I was going to do, because I didn't think I had any other skills. And at the time, I was right. My skills were not to a place where I was able to really sell that type because I didn't know how to do it. But as time went on, I learned, I did more and more work. I pushed myself out of my comfort zone. I got better at it. Things in my mind clicked. Okay, I worked with coaches. I got better. Now, I will say that, again, I do have a long acting background, so at least I had a good foundation of how to work on my skill. Okay. A lot of times acting background doesn't mean you're a good actor. It just means at least you might have knowledge of how to work on your skill to get better at something, which I did. So that helped me. So now it's so crazy. I mean, everybody who follows me knows, I mean, the videos and stuff, I mean, I just do tons of them now. It's what people hire me for. Literally, people find me and hire me for it. Okay. So good question. So it's going to take you a while. I will tell you this. My first year on Fiverr, I made $800. Isn't that funny? $800. So it's funny when I think about what I make now compared to then. All right. And a lot of people now in 2020 would look at that and say, man, that's such a failure. Right. But I look back on it and you imagine if I quit back then, after a year on Fiverr, only making $800, I mean, I know this, is kind of off topic, but it's not. But just think about that. Think of all of us here right now. Think of a VO's journey. Think of Fiverr Elite. Think of everything that's been created, and think if I would have quit because I only made $800 after 1 year on Fiverr, none of this would be here. Like none of us would be in this this video right now. There wouldn't be almost 100 people in Fiverr Elite. There wouldn't be any of this stuff. I wouldn't be making $5,000 to $10,000 a month on Fiverr. I wouldn't be at home, working full time. None of this would happen if I quit and gave up because I only made a few dollars the first year. It's important that you don't give up. It's important that you push yourself to the limit, increase your skills. Where you are right now is not where you're going to be tomorrow. Keep pushing yourself, keep falling forward. I think that's a great question. Now, does that mean that the people I work with today, it takes them that long? No. I'm happy to say that because of all the stuff I've learned, and I do think Fiverr's gotten better too, I help a lot of people make way more money than that and a lot faster. But at the time, that's what I made. In the second year, I only made a couple $1,000s the whole year. It wasn't until the end of the end of the second year or 2.5 years or so, or getting into 3, that I really started ramping up. I really started learning more. I got better. I took it more and more seriously. Let's see. Hey, Anthony. Okay, that was Optimus Prime. Good question, man. Andy, that Cinco has got some rave reviews. The poor man's MKH416. No, listen, I love the Cinco, and I recommend the Cinco D2. It's a great microphone. It doesn't sound. It's so close. It sounds very good, really good, and almost as good as the 416. But it's so indistinguishable, really. I think when you're starting out, the Cinco D2 is a fantastic mic. I recommend it. I coach a lot of people who I recommend it, and they get it and they love it. It does a great job of getting out, like deadening background noise. It's a great mic. Hey, y'all. Hey, Eric. Good to have you. Sean, in music, the standby mic is the SM57. Thank you. That's it right there, Sean. I know some voice actors that use that. It's a great dynamic microphone. I can't remember. I don't know how much it was now. Sometimes it's between like $98 and $150 or so, but it's a great microphone. It is an XLR microphone. It's a dynamic microphone, but it's a wonderful mic. And it's been around forever, and for good reason, because it works. Andy Moore, the Neumann mics will have lower self-noise and cleaner frequency response. So I think in the end, as Andy pointed out, and I just want to say, as you make more money in this business, you reinvest in your business, the more expensive equipment you get, all right, and the better equipment you get, it does give, like he said, low noise and stuff. When I first started, I couldn't figure out, I was doing so much editing. I was spending so much time frustrated, and where is that extra noise coming from? Why can't I get rid of it? What am I doing wrong? I'm bad at this. A lot of that I didn't realize was the equipment I had at the time. Did I still get work? Yes. But did I get all of the work that I could have got? No, because I didn't know what I didn't know. And I didn't have the equipment that I didn't have. It is what it is. But that's growing, right? That doesn't mean I didn't get work. It just means I didn't get the work I get now. Because now I have things in place that allow me to do a million times more and way better than I did when I started. Not just my skill, all right, and my knowledge, but also the equipment, which is part of that. Let's see. I got my first taste of voiceover doing e-learning content for the KHNP nuclear power plant, working as an ESL teacher here. Now I want to break into the VO business. Awesome. Look, the ESL business is massive, all over the world, right? I mean, it really is. Andy Moore, SM58, passes the Can Dave Grohl scream into a test. Yeah. Optimus Prime, I truly have no idea what I'm doing either. I did do a gig that is Halloween based and it got impressions right away, but slowed down now. You keep pushing. You keep trying. You keep getting better. Okay. You keep making yourself better. That's how you'll get work. All right. Don't give up. Out of Work Professor. Hi, Anthony. Have you ever thought of doing a video or course on creating DJ drops or podcast intros with all the sound effects and crazy voice effects? Yes, actually I have. But, I just haven't done it yet. One of my passions, and I don't do it very often. Well, I do it for some clients, but it takes a long time. But I love it so much. And that is putting together almost, I guess you could call them kind of radio shows in a way, or putting together, short. That's why I love demos. Like, to me, a demo is a story. Listen, I'm a theater person. I love acting. I love stories. The part of my passion of doing all this is everything's a story, right? There's a message. There's a feeling. It's a story, and I love stories. So part of commercial demos or broadcast or e-learning demos or audiobook demos or podcast demo, whatever demo whatever character demos, whatever demo you need, it's a story. And I love putting together stories. So I love the sound effects, the music, the feeling that it gives you, the beginning, middle, and an end, and the cohesion of it all. Does it mean more than just you blabbering out stuff? Okay, that's also what changes you from someone who's mediocre to someone that rises to the top, because there's more to you than just, Optimus Prime. I just did that more than meets the eye thing. This has got me. See, you got me thinking about Autobots. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and finish this up. Stay on topic, but hopefully that helps. Narrator Lou. I work a day job. How easily does VO work sit alongside a main job? Wonderful question. So for the first 2 years, I started my voiceover business in April of 2017. I left my full-time job in June of 2019. I worked from 6 in the morning till 5 p.m. I would help my wife and I would get our kids. We'd have dinner. We'd hang out with the kids for a while. Then I would hang out with my wife for a little while, put her to bed. So about 9:30, 10 p.m. every night, I would go out to my little dinky shed. I would get out. I had this duffel bag. It was one of those big army green duffel bags that I kept my packing blankets in and my PVC pipes in. I would bring in my duffel bag, take everything out, and also the clamps. I had these plastic clamps. I got it from Lowe's, and I would set up this. It was 4 by 6 booth that went around my desk. Every single night, I'd set that up around 10. It took me about 20 minutes to put it up. Then at about 2:33 in the morning when I was done, I would take it down, pack it all back in the green bag, put it out there, because at the time we lived in a very little house and a little space, and like the booth had to be like directly in the path of a lot of things that were happening in the house. So I could only work the late night in the morning, and So the reason why I bring that up to you is I want to tell you this. You will be defined by how much you overcome the insurmountable challenges that, are put in your way. You will, if I look back and people, I've worked with so many people, and they're wonderful people who tell me, Anthony, I can't stay up that late. It just doesn't work for me. If I don't get sleep, I can't make it. And that's fine. I totally understand. But if you don't figure out a solution to the challenges that you have, no one will, and you won't be able to rise above where you currently are. So can you build this business with a full-time job? Absolutely, I did. Can you go full-time? Absolutely, I did. Is it going to hurt and be tough? Absolutely, it was. But you know what? I wouldn't trade it for the world. All right. Rob, that's just where I am now. It's great to hear this. Awesome, Rob. Sean, I love my 416, and I've got by the way, Narrator Lou, I don't know if you've seen this, but I have a podcast called the VO's Journey Podcast, and I started it in early 2018, and it documented, basically, because I was still working, and I used that podcast to almost document my journey as well as teach what I knew at the time. And you listen to that and you will see the changes. We're getting close to 200 episodes now. You can see the change in me as just a speaker. As I get better on the podcast, you can hear where I am in my business. You can actually go to the point where I leave my business, I leave my full-time job and go full-time in voiceover. Like, it's a really awesome kind of at the time I didn't realize it. I'd hoped it was. I hoped it would be that one day, but I didn't know. I had no plans to quit my job. Like, I wasn't making enough money at the time. It's really a great, I think, just journey that you can listen to and see, one person's journey and how it happened from not working a full-time job to going full-time in voiceover. Anthony, your 800 a year was 800 more than your previous year and 800 more than anyone that quit before their first earnings. Well done. Here's to persistence and consistency and discipline. Absolutely, Eric. Absolutely. Those words right there are words: persistence, consistency, discipline. Man, those are not fun words, but man, they make all the difference in the world. Rob, Eric, yes. Absolutely. Sean, doing my podcast gig is probably my favorite because the possibilities are endless. Absolutely. Narrator Lou, fabulous. Thank you. You're welcome. Sean, working 10 to 12 hours a day and spending every waking hour on my video business is killing me, but I'm not going to stop. Absolutely, Sean, because one day what's going to happen is you're going to be sitting just like I am, and you're going to look back and, you're going to have a different life. You're creating a different life for yourself and your family and all the people that know you. And one day you'll look back and you'll say, you know what? That was one tough time in my life, but I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad I did it. So keep it up, my friend. Appreciate it. I'll check it out. Awesome. Well, hey, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all more than you will ever know. All right. You all mean the world to me. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Just a quick note, if you are interested, we have a group called Fiverr Elite. We meet on Wednesdays and Saturdays. It's a group of like-minded people. We get together from brand new people on Fiverr to top-rated sellers on Fiverr. And the whole point is to help each other grow our businesses. We do everything from tutorials on just getting started in VO to voice acting and group sessions. We do marketing. We do all kinds of things. So if you're interested, you could check out the link below or go over to a VO's Journey Facebook group or VO's Journey website and check it out there. But other than that, thank you again. Again, if you have a moment, like, subscribe, and share. But you guys have a great weekend. Thank you. Good luck. See you guys later. Goodbye. Goodbye.